Hello, I'm Joe Calamusa, Director of the University of Alabama Sales Program and a professor in the Marketing Department in the Culverhouse College of Business. I've worked with Claudia Calhoun over the last couple of years. First, I was a professor in her sales and marketing classes while she was an undergrad. And then over the last year, Claudia has worked for the UA Sales Program in a leadership role. Claudia teaches our advanced sales class. She works on 2 projects in which she leads students, undergraduate students, on live corporate projects. She works very hard to make sure that the mission of these corporate projects are kept and fulfilled, as well as making sure that the students receive the best possible experiential education. And we're very proud of her role at UA. I was asked to sort of say why Claudia is a revolutionary student, or what's revolutionary about Claudia in general. And it's a pretty easy answer to the question. As Claudia's responsibility has grown, so has her hustle. And that's unique in many cases as people move up in an organization, get more responsibility, higher level titles, more money. Oftentimes that hustle seems to go away. And Claudia's hustle is at its peak now. She's at the highest possible level in our organization, and she has the highest possible hustle. Nobody outworks, nobody out tries, nobody out hustles Claudia Calhoun. She's an example for all the students in our program, and she's an example for me. So I am honored this evening to introduce Claudia Calhoun.
I want you all to think with me about a few things you are thankful for today. It could be people, places, things, or whatever else you can imagine. For me, I am thankful to have a wonderful family, awesome friends, an apartment to go home to at night, my health, and most importantly, that I attend the greatest university on the planet. I am also thankful to have grown up with parents who taught me what it truly looks like to serve others, and how serving others affects not only this generation, but generations to come. Gandhi once said, "The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others." I have found this to be true over and over again in my life. This quote is what sparked the talk I will share with you today. My hope tonight is that you leave here inspired to look for the resources and abilities that you have to make an impact on Tuscaloosa and leave it better than when you arrived here. In August of this year, I was sitting in my internship course for the Masters of Marketing program when Mr. Hatmaker began describing the different projects we could choose to be a part of this year. One of those happened to be working with Habitat for Humanity to rebuild a house in West End. I immediately saw my opportunity to serve, and once Mr. Hatmaker began describing the conditions this lady was living in, I knew this was the project I wanted to be on this year. This was my chance to use the resources that I had to make an impact on Tuscaloosa and leave it better than when I came here 4 years ago. This was also my chance to get outside the Tuscaloosa everyone sees and to get into those parts of Tuscaloosa that are often overlooked and forgotten. West End is not the best looking part of town. It doesn't have the nice apartment complexes, shopping malls, and perfectly kept landscape like we see driving down University. But what West End has is a strong sense of community and support for one another. So the first way that we can begin to create change is when we learn to take advantage of the resources and opportunities we have available to us now. As I mentioned a moment ago, my opportunities started as a part of the Masters of Marketing program. But that was only the first step. I can only create change when I take advantage of the resources that are provided to me through this program. One of those resources was the staff at Habitat for Humanity Tuscaloosa. Ellen Potts and Heather Poe are 2 vital individuals to the execution of our Raise the Roof for Audrey campaign. Without their support and guidance, our campaign would not even exist. They have given us the opportunity to serve alongside them as we change people's lives in West End. One of those lives we get to change this year is Ms. Audrey Harris, whom we are building a house for at the end of this semester. So I want to take the next minute to tell you a little bit more about Ms. Audrey so you can really understand why I'm so passionate about serving our community. When I met Ms. Audrey for the first time, I was amazed by the exuberant amount of joy she brought to every conversation. She isn't mad or bitter that she's been living in a house that's literally falling apart at the seams, or that her health hasn't been good in recent years. Instead, she is always happy, smiling and laughing. She hugs you the first time she meets you, and she always wants to know about your life and how you are doing. She's eager to help anyone in her community that needs a place to call home, even if it's just for the night. It's impossible not to be captivated by her smile and her love of life. Her children tell countless stories of the countless number of friends and family who have called her house home over the years. The most remarkable thing about Miss Audrey is her love for her community and the support she gives to those around her. Last year, when Miss Jackie Wright moved into her new home that was also built by the MSM program and Habitat, Miss Audrey was there, front and center, cheering on Miss Jackie. She wasn't mad that Miss Jackie got a house before she did. Instead, she supported her until her miracle came around. To me, this is the true mark of a giving and servant heart. Another way that Helen and Heather have served as great resources for us is putting us in contact with individuals in our community who are influencers and can bring a strong voice to our campaign. While we were filming a video to raise awareness for Raise the Roof for Audrey, we were able to speak with several city leaders and pastors in the West End community that could bring a strong network of contacts and influence. The city of Tuscaloosa is very involved in the efforts to foster change in the West End community. They see the needs of this place even when others overlook it. After April 27, 2011, the city and Habitat combined their efforts to rebuild the parts of Tuscaloosa that were destroyed by the tornado. Today, the city continues to do all in its power to aid Habitat as it continues to change Tuscaloosa. Harrison Taylor, the city council president, said it best when he said he was impressed and encouraged by the coming together of the city, its businesses, and its churches to create change. Knowing that I am a part of an opportunity to serve alongside our city officials, our business owners, and our church leaders is an opportunity that doesn't happen often. The last resources I have provided to me are the Culver House and Manderson Business Schools. I have been amazed at the support that we have in Dean Harden, Dr. Alloway, Mr. Hatmaker, and so many others on the staff here at UA. Mr. Hatmaker has been one of our greatest assets throughout this semester. He is always there to answer any question we have, has contacts for every person we need in Tuscaloosa, and is invested in getting us outside of our business mindsets and getting us into our community to give back. He has said over and over again that Habitat is his favorite project, and this speaks volumes to me. Knowing that I am in a class with a professor who wants me to not only grow academically, but also as an impactful citizen, is a rewarding experience that I hope each of you can be a part of during your career here at UA. I draw a lot of inspiration from the quote, "We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give." Mr. Hatmaker has given me the opportunity to serve on a project where I'm giving more than receiving. The long hours I've put in, the successes, and the disappointments are all going to be worth it when Miss Audrey's house is built, because it will symbolize one thing: change. I am extremely blessed to be a part of a college that values service and the efforts its students and faculty put into volunteering in their communities. So once I understood what resources I had in front of me, I then was able to look at what abilities and skill sets I had to use to make an impact. I believe that so many times that we don't serve others because we don't think that we have what it takes by society standards to make change. But this is such a misconception, because each and every one of you is gifted in some way, and even the most unconventional or unusual skill can be used to help someone. For me, on this project, I'm putting to use my marketing and social media skills to raise funds to build Miss Audrey a home. It seems like pure luck that I'm enrolled in a social media marketing class while actively running the Twitter account for Raise the Roof for Audrey. Throughout this semester, I have learned that if I apply just a few elements of theory to our account, I can generate more followers, which in turn means more awareness, more volunteers, and more donors. It really seems like an unlikely combination when talking about service and changing a community. But without social media and our marketing skills, I know we could not raise the funds that we need to build Miss Audrey's home. This is only one of the skill sets that I have when talking about my project, but I also believe that I possess so many more abilities that can be used to create change. One of those is that I love working with children, especially preschool and nursery age. This led me to serving in the nursery at my church. If you've ever been a part of a church for any length of time, you know that nursery is usually the last place that anyone wants to serve. There are not many people that can deal with an hour of crying and screaming and spit up and the constant need for diaper change and attention and snack times, which we all know can be hectic. However, I see every opportunity to make someone's life a little better as a chance to create change. For me, using my skills and love for children, I can give these parents an hour of peace where they can go and enjoy a church service without having to worry about their child and if they're being taken care of. Change isn't always building someone a new home or giving away a ton of money to a cause, but it can be a small, simple gesture, like an encouraging word, a smile, a thank you, keeping their child while they can enjoy a church service for an hour, anything. We often become so consumed in our fast-paced schedules that we forget the chance to make someone's day just a little bit better. So why do I tell you all of this? I do because I see the impact it can have not only on your community, but on the person that you can become when you decide to give back a little of your time. For me personally, when I give of my time, I become less selfish and more sensitive to the needs of others. If we all took one day out of our month to serve in some form or fashion across Tuscaloosa, how differently would our city look in a year? This summer, my pastor preached a series called Change Your World. The key word here is your. You all have a sphere of influence, whether you know it or not. You have influence over at least one person in your life. Think about what would happen if you dedicated one day to giving back, which caused one other person to give back, which in turn caused the whole group to give back. Think of all the great moments of history. They all started with one idea and one person. So as you leave here tonight, my challenge for you is this. Take a minute, look up from your cell phone and your laptop, and look around you. Who do you see? Who do you notice? Do you notice the lady that's struggling to get those groceries to her car? Do you notice your friend, or better yet, your enemy who's sitting by themselves looking like they have a bad day and could just use a little encouragement? Do you see that man that's walking down the street with worn out shoes or no shoes at all? So now that you've noticed, what are you going to do about it? To end my talk, I wanted to show you the inspiration that I've used for all the work I've done this semester. This is Miss Audrey.
Okay, my name is Audrey Harris. My house was given to me in the year of 1998 by my mother. Her name was Annie Harris. When she gave it to me, it was in poor condition, needed a lot of repairs, but still I always made it home because it was given to me. I always wanted to live here. I never wanted to live anywhere else other than this. All I know, always has been home, no matter what the condition has been. It's always been a home of love and joy and godliness.
'Cause I'm gonna make this place your home.
Again, thank you all, and we're going to continue to move. The city's on board, the churches on board from all over, not just in this community, all over this city, churches coming forward. We got companies volunteering their manpower and their equipment to come forward. This never happened before in Tuscaloosa.
That's right.
What a great day for Tuscaloosa.
The trouble it might drag you down. If you get lost, you can always be found. Just know you're not alone. 'Cause I'm gonna make this place your home.
Thank you.